Hi, fourth grade. Welcome back. Today we're going to be starting clay. I hope you're paying attention because today's going to be a lot. Today we're going to be using something called clay. Clay is found at the bottom of rivers or bodies of water, so it is actually a form of mud. But the cool thing about clay is it's unlike other muds where when it dries and gets heated up really hot, it ends up being a great surface to paint on, to create bowls out of, so it's very useful to humans. This has been something that humans have used for maybe even a couple thousand years. Today, we are going to be creating a loom out of clay. So we're going to be using organic forms. We're going to be using texture, which means things that we can feel. And then, of course, later on, once it's been fired and we have some more time to work with it, we'll add some paint and some yarn so that we can start adding some color. I hope that you've been thinking about what kind of shape you might want to try, and also maybe what kind of texture you might want to add. I think that people should do an organic shape, but you don't have to. If you want to do something realistic like this clock, or if you have another idea for your weaving, that's totally fine with me too. I just want you to try your hardest. I hope you're paying attention because I'm only going over these directions once. You're going to get a big old chunk of clay. First thing you want to do is you want to squeeze it. Using your fingers, you can add a little bit of water, just a little bit on your fingertips, and that will get this process going a little bit faster. The reason that we're doing this is because we want to get rid of all the bubbles that are inside the clay. Now, think about what would happen if we put bubbles inside of a giant oven called a kiln. I hope that you're thinking it would totally explode. That's what will happen if you do not take this time to really smush it out. Then I'm giving it some smacks on the table and I'm making it into a pancake. Now you don't want to make it super flat. I'm going to show you how you can tell if you've made it too flat. You're going to give it some pressure. I kind of hit it like this. You don't have to do it very hard. Just give it a little bit of pressure over and over. And it'll spread out like a pancake. You know that you... Sorry it got cut off there. But what I was trying to say is that once you have made your pancake, you need to check it. Make sure that it is the same thickness as your hand. So I'm looking from the side of the table and double checking. If it is any thinner, it will not work. You're going to see these little empty cups. That is your stencil to make the hollow, I'm sorry, I had a yawn. That hollow part of your loom that you're creating in clay. You're going to cut this out with a popsicle stick. So you're going to go around the edges that you just created, and you're going to cut this out. You don't need to push hard. Just basically cut it out, that middle part. Once it feels like it's ready to come out, you may want to lift it up and kind of pop it out like this. Then it's time for you to smooth it down. Remember, once this clay dries, it's dried for good. We have 1 day to work on this. You need to smooth it out if you want to. Now, if you want the crazy, roughed up, messy look, that's fine with me, but I can't go back and fix anything after it's dried because that's permanent. I can't go back and change dried clay. So I'm taking my time and smoothing it out. You don't need to keep your circle a perfect circle. It can be wonky. That's okay. Remember, this is an organic shape. It does not have to be perfect or like anything else. Then you're going to take your texture plate and you're going to add some texture. So you can just basically put it on top and then put slight pressure to add some texture. What I want you to notice is that I'm not adding clay onto the piece at all. I can take the texture plate and add texture, but you do not want to take pieces of clay and add it on. It'll just fall off when the kiln goes off. I haven't taught you how to put pieces on. Then you're going to take this wooden rod that I have here, and you'll find some of these in the classroom, and you're going to make little holes on the side. Now you need to let enough room that it can be a hole by itself and it's not part of the mega hole in the middle. But I'm going to go around the side. You don't have to put a whole lot, but basically just spread them out, maybe an inch or so, or maybe a little bit less, and do little holes. These are what the string is going to go through. So it's really important that you go all the way around. And I just take the dowel rod, do a little twist, and that should be good. Just going around doing that. So I think that's enough. These are, like I said, where the string, the yarn that you're going to use is going to be loomed over. We'll worry about that next time. Now I'm going to pick it up, push it onto its other side in a moment. I'm going to write my name. There. All right, and now I'm taking one of these needles. These needles are very fragile, do not bend them, but you're going to use this to write your name. Now, you may not be able to fit your whole name on there. Just at least try. I'm gonna put boat, or boat field, maybe. Let's see what I'm gonna do. All right, it looks like I can fit boat field. If you can just make a nickname or maybe do your initials, that's fine with me. And then you need to write the number of your class. So if you're on a Monday, that's a 1. If you're on a Friday, that's a 5. And any other number that's either 2 or 3 or 4, whatever it is, I will let you know, but you need to have that number so it doesn't get mixed up in another class. For a while, your clay is going to sit back here and get a little bit more hard. It has to be what's called leather hard before we can put it in the kiln. The interesting thing about the kiln is this is just one big oven, except it gets up to 2,000 degrees. Just to give you some clarity on that, your oven at home when you're making pizza goes up to 400 degrees, so this can get really hot. This has to wait at least maybe a couple weeks before you can get it back. It might even take more, so please don't ask me if it's done. I will let you know as soon as possible. But this right here has to dry until it's about this bright, and then I can put it in the kiln. And you'll get it back after the kiln has run through. I'm really excited to see what you're gonna do. This one had a problem. This one was made too thin, and so it broke. And remember, if it breaks, there's not a whole lot I can do about it. Make sure that your ring, whatever shape you're doing, is organic and thick. So you need to have it thick. I think it was just a little bit too thin, especially on this side, and that's why it broke. All right, guys, I hope you have a great day. Remember, please don't add anything to your piece. Don't take a little piece of clay and stick it on somewhere. It will just fall off. Don't worry about that. Maybe we can do projects like this where you're sticking things on another day, but we are not ready for that in this project. All right, guys, have a great day, and I'm excited to see your work.